Hello again, Slimy Fertilers. We're back to do the last car of the main force patrol team that I'm doing for Gaslands, and you can see we have a Humvee type vehicle. Well, it is a Humvee basically. I don't know the manufacturer on this one because the bottom of the car doesn't say anything other than made in China. It does have markings similar to the real toy Ford Crowns that I did before, but who it is actually made it, I just don't know. I actually have two of these. I'm keeping one aside for I'm going to do something else with it. But this one's going to be getting the peak treatment. So let's get it stripped down. So we're going to do a little bit of magic again like we did before. And there we go. All stripped down. The actual body is fairly solid metal. It's very nice actually. The rest of the stuff does actually feel really cheap though. The base, as I said, the base here. Just literally, that's all it says on it there. I don't know whether you can see it, just says made in China. It's chromed, so that'll be getting, that'll be disappearing. But the base, it feels really cheap tacky. We've got the top here. This weird thing. It's the what they call it, the actual car itself. Obviously, there are different versions of it because this is painted. Well, this is molded like a pickup truck version of the Humvee. And then the the back, this bit here just goes over the top, clips in. It actually held in with a little screw, to be honest, which is something I wasn't expecting. But yeah, I assume that there's a different version of this with just this bit, this bit with a roof on, and then this bit at the back here with maybe, I don't know, a machine gun or something like that in. But the version that I've got is this one, police one. But yeah, the other bits. Yeah, it's like I said, the other bits feel really cheap. The wheels themselves aren't very good quality, but they're all we've got to work with. So into the old paint stripper we go, and while I'm waiting for that, I'll show you roughly what it is I'm wanting it to look like when it comes out. Okay, so here we are, is the Hummer as it is. Just take a photo of it. So we're going to have a look at putting some armour plating on the windows. Front panel bull bar, armoured skirt around the kind of wheel arches to protect things, but most important of all, a top mounted turret with a heavy machine gun in it. I've put two barrels on because I'm representing that as a heavy machine gun. So here we are after the stripping. It was a nightmare to get the paint off this one. I generally use acetone to strip, and it took it about 2 days for me to get the paint off, and even then you can still see the some on. So I started work on the conversion. First off, I glued the roof back on. I put a plate across the front windscreen. Then I started making the turret, which I wanted to revolve. So I drilled a hole and put a pin through there and such, so that the turret was able to move independently. And created a base plate with some build up on it, just so I could get the gun on. There we are. I've just made the gun barrels. What I did to connect them together was I took the pin there, just put it through that hole that you can see in the centre of the circle, which was drawn around a 5p piece. Just put it in and just bent the top of the pin over so that it would hold the turret in place. Then I glued the machine guns on, and as you can see, the turret rotates freely. So the turret was finished off by cutting a piece of plastic out and bending it into a horseshoe shape, and then gluing it to the sides. The top I just used another piece that I'd cut round a 5p piece and just cut bits out for the guns to poke through and stick on. Put a little bit of plastic on the front for an armoured belt, and made a little door for the top and like a gun mounting out of wood. I just cut strips out to cover the windows with. I also put a little aerial at the back, and here we can see with the base of the car I just decided to go with a kind of snowplow thing for it. Cut these slots out in the windows just by using a chisel-headed hobby knife sort of thing, and just pressed it in, and there we have it, all ready for painting and everything. So the painting is simple because I'm not really doing anything that I haven't done with any of the other cars, but here we can see I did a base of black for the chassis and white for the body. Then just the
base yellow on the body, darkened down with some orange ink just to give it that kind of, yellowy orange colour. Pick out some of the details as well. Then I just did the base red colour, just as the first kind of stripe thing. Then I blacked the all the bits that were going to be sort of metallic. Just put that in there. Put the base blue layer. It's I don't use gloss for the base layers, but I do come back later and gloss them up. The bits here I've picked in black and then put some of the gloss paint on the red and the blue. Silver for the metal bits. These are going to be the light metal bits, so there. And then finally I kind of dirtied up the metal. You can't see it very well, but I did mix up some gunmetal colour for the gun barrels, which you can sort of see here, and then it's all done for varnishing.
Yeah, there we go. The completed MFP Riot control van. Well, I say Riot control van, it's Riot control truck. But yeah, the turret still rotates even after the varnish layer. Well, the lacquer. I use lacquer and not varnish because it makes it a bit more shiny. You see, shiny. I got a big what they call it, big sort of plow on the front for smashing through barriers and stuff like that. And to be fair, if you were out rioting for some reason or doing a protest, and then this thing come rolling towards you with its guns blazing, you'd soon disappear back off home. Yeah, so it's done. I don't know whether you can see the what they call it on here, where I dirtied up the metal bits. You can probably see a lot better in this than you can the picture that I took. Yeah, we just applied a layer. It was a mixture of 1 part silver paint, 1 part copper paint, and then a little bit of really dark brown, and just put it on there to make the metal look a little bit rusty. I haven't put that on the front scoop though. Scoop plow dozer blade though. That was ridiculously hard to make, and it's not how I wanted it to look at all. But we have to make do what we've got. So yeah, that is the MFP Gaslands project finished. We'll just get the other guys out here. We've got the we've got the pursuit cars, and then the interceptor. So just there we go. There's the interceptor, and at the front, and the riot van, and then the 2 patrol cars. In Gasland's points value and stuff like that, this little vehicle fleet comes to about 120 cans. Which is usually battles or whatever are fought, using like 50, 100, 150, stuff like that. But that's what I say, I wasn't going for the kind of, must fit into this thing. I was going for make each card decent and playable on the table, and we've got that here. We've got a fast light vehicle with a bit of a heavy punch, and enough to get in front of other cars and cause havoc. We've got your 2 muddler, the 2 sort of workhorse cars, with their forward firing weapons and ability to ram people. And then we've got the big guy at the back here that's basically a slab of armor with heavy weapons on. The weird thing is it's like I said, the minigun that's mounted to the interceptor is actually a heavier weapon than the heavy machine gun I put on the turret, but it gains the advantage of being able to fire in 360, so I can just be driving in one direction, firing in the other, which is okay. These can only fire to the front. These 3 can only fire to the front, and the intercept has the caltrops dropper at the back. I can either have as a caltrops dropper or a glue gun, or I don't know if I want to fudge the points a bit more, some mines or something like that. But yeah, it's been real nice to do vehicle conversions like this on these little cars in this scale. It's not the first time I've done vehicle conversions in this scale. Some of the other stuff I've done is just for sort of turning a Hot Wheels sort of 4x4 into a like a a desert racer or something like that, you know, lifting the wheels a bit more and putting roll cages on, stuff like that. So this has been a little bit different for me, you know, using the plastic card, or you know, the plastic off butter pot. And other than buying the cars, it's not really cost me anything, because like I say, I've just used materials that you can find laying around the house. You know, instead of buying plastic card, I've used the plastic off butter pots. For, you know, support beams and stuff like that, I've just used bits of paper clip and wire. So yeah, it's a nice little thing. Gasons is a nice cheap game to get into if you want to do some tabletop gaming. You know, the materials to get yourself started are very cheap. You know, I mean, these vehicles altogether didn't even come to a tenner. You know, I've got 4 vehicles, and then the conversion work done on them is done out of my own time, just using waste that I find that I would normally throw away. So there we are. The entire team finished and ready to take on the scum of the post-apocalyptic highways. Thank you for watching. If you've watched all the videos in this particular sequence, I may do some more car conversion videos, you know, custom cars and car repaints and stuff in the future. But for now, we'll just leave it with these 4 and see how it gets on. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again sometime in the future, maybe. Hopefully not a post-apocalyptic future.